Hi, everyone. Welcome to Empowered with Gina. Today, we have not only a powerhouse, but somebody who is clearly matching with me today because, birds of a feather flock together and great minds think alike. Miss Liza Cabrera, who is the Director of Client Relations at JT Legal and a dear friend of mine. Hello, Liza.
Hi.
Welcome, friend. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be around someone like you that is a trailblazer, Latina, powerhouse woman.
Thank you, friend.
So
Let's talk about matching, first of all. We did not plan this.
we did not plan this.
If you need any more validation that, birds of a feather
flock together.
Look, we even think alike. Okay, so I always start my podcast asking my guests 3 adjectives to describe themselves.
Wow. Okay. I would say resilience, number 1. I would say strong and funny. I think I'm funny.
You are funny. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in South Central.
Okay. How many kids? How many?
1 daughter.
Okay. How was your education? What was that like?
My education, I finished high school, and then after that, I went to a nursing school, and I got my medical, my MA, and then I got my phlebotomy license, and then I got my licensed vocational nursing license.
So that's
LVN.
Very different than what you're doing now, because your career now is client relationship in a law firm.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're not here to talk specifically about that part, but I think it's interesting that you studied a particular
Nursing.
medical nursing, but your career is not in nursing. How did you do that?
It wasn't really for me as much as I loved taking care of people and all that. I was just always getting really sad because there's just people always sick.
Yeah.
And I just found myself kind of going home and just being really like, okay, why does my daughter want the new this and the new iPad and the new Jordans and this and that when people are dying? So because I worked for a cardiologist, then I worked for a plastic surgeon, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I'll work for a lab. I won't see people that much.
Yeah.
But then you find out that with blood, you find out people are still dying. So I'm like, you know what? So I got the opportunity to work for my daughter's quinceañera, I had to have 2 jobs. I was working as a nurse, and then I was working at a call center. And the call center, the cousin is friends with, the cousin's owner owns a law firm. And he's like, okay, I have this girl. She's really good on the phone. You should hire her. So he brought me in as a receptionist.
How long ago?
2015.
Whoa. Okay.
So he brought me in, and then I became a manager, and then from a manager, a director. No, I'm sorry, receptionist, manager, and then a director. We started with 5 people at JT Legal Group, and now we have 120 employees.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And being in the legal space myself and having our firms, I know how daunting it is to do the management portion of it, which you're doing.
Yes.
The law part of it, we're good. Lawyers are good.
Yeah.
It's the management and scaling of a business and, all the things people don't think about, the accounting, the taxes, the HR, it is its own beast.
Yeah.
Operations is everything. And I know you're tied right into all of that. So, okay, the reason you're here today is because you and I were talking the other day, and you brought up that you are on Mounjaro, which is the counterpart of Ozempic.
Yes.
And I just thought, because you look phenomenal, which means you're healthy. You're healthy, you're well, and you have intentionally decided to change your life. And my platform, the Empowered with Gina platform, is all about accountability and intentionality. And I would love for you to share that story, because a lot of people are curious. People are scared. What if? Side effects? I don't know. How did this come about for you? And tell me what your BMI, or if you don't mind, your weight was, and then where you are today.
Of course. So I was 258 pounds, and today I'm 185 pounds.
Jesus.
All since February till now.
So we're in August? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what made you finally say yes? Did you say yes right away when you knew the shot came out?
Oh my goodness, no. I actually have a friend from Brand Surgical, the owner, Angel Sambalian. She's a really nice woman, also, which I would love for you to meet her, because she's a powerhouse. She's been in the PI world for 30 years, and she's a woman, and she's just amazing, badass woman. Like, she's great. She's very giving. She's very loving. And she discovered that she's Mounjaro, and she's like, you need to do it.
So she was encouraging you.
She was encouraging me for 3 months. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
Why?
I don't even take caffeine. I'm not the type of person that can even, take any. I'm very holistic. I do a lot of teas. I do a lot of like herbs, hierbas de Mexico. Like, I don't even like aspirin or Tylenol. Like, I just thug it out. I'm sorry to say.
We are very different. I have Advil at my desk right now. Okay. Yes. So the holistic part of it, you're like, no, I don't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Did you think you needed it?
Absolutely. So I got diagnosed with osteoarthritis at a very young age last year, when I was 39. And then my daughter had her baby in March. And I'm just like, wait a second, how am I going to be, like, when my daughter was pregnant? We were at Cala last year and she was pregnant. I'm like, how am I going to be running around after this little girl? How am I going to, like, I need to live a very long life. And if I'm obese, like, how am I going to do that?
And if your bones aren't working and you have osteoporosis, that wasn't going to happen.
Exactly. So that's when I'm like, you know what? I called, my boss has been trying to convince me. Angel's been trying to convince me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm ready.
Really? So the baby
is.
You're looking at your lifestyle, looking forward.
Exactly. And I remember at Cala, you guys would always convince us to go work out at 5 a.m. And I'm like, one day. But honestly, it just needed to be done. I was like, you know what? I have all these health issues anyways. I got diagnosed with high blood pressure and the osteoarthritis. So I'm like, you know what? I'm still in pain anyways.
Yeah.
Let's try it out. And it's not as bad as everybody thinks.
Okay, walk us through. You go in the first day to get the shot. Are you nervous?
So nervous. I went to church. I had my mom pray for me. I'm like, because I don't want anything to affect how I'm going to act at work or how it's going to affect my productivity.
Sure, you just don't know.
I'm just like, okay, am I going to be a zombie and I'm going to be running around like crazy? And the doctors promised me there's no caffeine, not to worry.
Yeah.
There's just a few stomach problems. Some people have different stomach problems, but for me, I mean, sorry, I'll just say it.
This is let's educate and do not apologize. We all have bodies.
Yeah. Constipation. That was number one.
That's the worst.
And heartburn. But I always have heartburn anyways. So to me, it is so worth it. As Latinas, we were never like taught to eat healthy. Everything's always about tortillas, rice, beans, like carbs. So for me, I just was like, you know what? I need a change of, like, a whole change of scenery, because every weekend I'm like, okay, we're going to mariscos, we're going to eat carnitas, we're going to go to this barbecue, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Now I finally respect food so much that I'm like, it has to be good. It has to be very good for my body, veggies, like something nutrient for myself.
So it's interesting that you bring up, you would look at the weekend. How much socializing is around food and around eating?
Oh my goodness.
You don't realize it. Yeah. So no matter what industry you're in, and especially the legal industry, there's constantly events with alcohol, food. And it's not that top of the line food usually. It's hors d'oeuvres and just, junk, fluffy food full of calories and sodium. Also, our socialization with our family and friends. Where are you going to go eat? Let's go on a date. Let's go eat. The party has food. Everything is around food, right? And so it's interesting that you say that how did that change once you were fully on the shot and it was working? Did you find that it changed your socializing, or how did you see food?
Well, now whenever I want to do anything with friends or whatever, I'm like, let's not do the food thing. Let's just go. Now I'm at the observatory last Friday. Now I'm like hiking. Now I'm going to the beach. Like,
because you're not hungry.
I'm not hungry. So it's perfect. Like, I now finally feel like I don't need food like that. Because food is an addiction.
100%.
It's a huge addiction. And it's and I didn't know that it was also like a kind of like a warm hug when you just, you're happy, you eat. You're sad, you eat. You're eating.
Yeah.
So I just see it in a different light now. And I'm trying to encourage everyone in my life and my family. And my friends are like, can you stop telling everyone? Because there was a shortage for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, go to Palm Springs. I already called. Like,
Get out. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Exactly. So.
And so you advocate for it. You see what it's done for your life. And so obviously physically you look so different and you're healthier now.
Yes.
But psychologically, where are you from when you started to right this moment?
Oh my God. I'm less brain fog. I have more energy than I've ever had. Now I'm like, I can do it all. I can do my job better. I can feel good about myself. I can actually go into a fitting room and try things on and be okay and not just be sad after. Like, or when my poor daughter, in the summer last year, we're going to a wedding and she's helping me put on my girdle. And then like she's putting one leg, I'm putting one other. And then she's like, Mom, just lose weight already. And I'm like, I know, baby, I know. But and it's hot. And like you're putting all these like Colombian fajas.
They work.
And I'm
they
like,
sure do.
They do, but one wrong move. Oof. It could pop.
And don't try to go to the restroom wearing those things.
Oh, I know.
Let's just be thin and not thin, but healthy. Forget the thin. Let's just be healthy.
Just healthy. Live a long life as Latinas. Like it's really tough to understand that because I have a molcajete. I make handmade tortillas. I'm super old school Mexican, but now I'm just like, okay, we can do it instead of meat. We can make with mushrooms, or we can make it with zucchini and salsa verde. Like I'm like changing my whole like lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Because of it.
And not only that, but what your granddaughter is seeing. Like her introduction to food is this versus carne asadas, burgers, ribs, all tortillas and all the stuff, tamale, all that, which those are great during the holidays. But it's not a lifestyle. It's not a sustainable lifestyle. If you want to be healthy, if you want to live a long time. And I remember when you told me you did it, you were on it, I was like, you've extended your life.
Oh, for sure.
The quality of it, not just living longer, but you're going to feel good for longer doing this. So, okay. So your life has been, you're in one spot and then you transition and you're doing something else. What would you advise to women or people out there listening to this? Whether they want to go on Ozempic or Mounjaro or whatever, or just make a transition and a pivot in their life or their career or their relationships. You've done it. What do you advise they do?
I say try it out because it's for a week. It's not gonna kill you. After 30 days, your body gets actually adjusted to it and you'll be okay. Just know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and not for everybody. Some people get a little bit different side effects, but it's not that bad.
Right.
Compared to what your like actual diabetes, high blood pressure, other things that could be very detrimental and kill you. So I say do it. Just try it out. Why not?
Awesome. So then, okay, now let's pivot just because we are in the legal space, and let's just touch on that for a second. In the especially personal injury arena, you've seen it all. You've been there. You're in it. What do you see as out there right now as the landscape in personal injury right now, from a firm your size to a solo firm? Say you have someone, especially a lawyer, who wants to go solo. Right now, what would you advise them?
I say that there is enough money for everyone and do it. Like at the end of the day, like even if you're solo, you can start from very little and create something big. And it's not what you know, who you know, or what. It's just empathy. And what you do for your clients. Number one.
Always. What about somebody who is the support staff in a firm? Maybe they want to do a lateral or a vertical move within their company. What would you advise they do to stand out, to do what you did at JT Legal?
Well, perseverance. And honestly, I think that you really have to but know like how the owner is dealing with paying for the lights, paying for everything. You have to think about them in the sense that they are doing it all for you and you're doing it all. You need to bring it to the table to help them because it's a gamble for them.
Absolutely.
So you have to give it 110%. I was at Subway when my daughter was 13, and the way this young lady made the sandwich was beautiful. It was like, I don't know, orchestrated like a symphony. And I told my daughter, I'm like, you see, it doesn't matter what type of job you have, you give it your all. And when you give it your all, I promise that when you finish that task, you can move up to whatever else. You know, maybe one day she'll buy the franchise, maybe whatever, you know. But whatever you do, if I'm a janitor, you have to just give it your all.
Absolutely. That's so true. And I appreciate you saying that you do have to consider what the employer, the owner is going through if you want to grow in that company.
Exactly.
Because from an employer's point of view and an owner's point of view, I know we're constantly looking at who is actively invested in not just coming to work, clocking in, doing their work, getting out. There's a ton of people that do that, and that's fine, but that's not what we want in our firm. And
not in our field.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. We have to give it our all. It's very competitive. We're a traveling circus, and everybody will know if you did the job right or not.
Absolutely. So. And it's a small community, whether it's in law, accounting, tax, whatever. Everything has a small community. And so you do want to make a name for yourself. And I know you've made a really good name for yourself in this industry. And so it is about just the boring days, consistently showing up, putting it in, making that sandwich as nice as it can be.
Exactly.
Because it will get noticed. And if it doesn't get noticed, maybe this is not the right job for you either. Because if they're not promoting you and they're not appreciating what you bring to the table, that's also on you to get the hell out. So, okay, well, I appreciate you being here, friend. What are your plans with this journey of yours, your health journey? What do you foresee for yourself?
Well, I'm going to lose 20 more pounds. And then I'm going to go under the knife because it's time, you know.
Okay.
My little...
Sure.
My baby gave me a little...
Yeah.
Even though she's 24 years old now. But
so
I'm going to do a little nip and tuck.
Great. Beautiful.
But very subtle. I'm minimizing everything. I'm going to minimize my breasts, minimizing everything. And just be healthier.
Thank you so much for being so transparent and vulnerable, because in our society, in our culture, it's not easy to talk about, one, weight loss, but two, your plans, and just being so transparent, because I know this is going to affect so many people in a great way, because you're just like talking about it so casually. Like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
I want everyone to do it. I want everyone to do it because I feel like we all deserve to feel better about ourselves.
That's right.
If you feel better about yourself, you could do anything.
And what about family and friends who don't support you? Did you get any pushback?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I did.
A lot of people will probably say, well, my husband or my wife or my kids don't support it.
My husband was not very supportive of it.
Okay. How did you deal with it?
Well, we're not together anymore.
Boop. See what she just said. If you don't like it, change it. And I know it's probably a different thing and all this stuff, but that
came up apart a long time ago, but just... Yeah.
But look, you did what you had to do for you, because had you listened, whether it's, you know, obviously not that extreme, not together anymore with a spouse, but family members who passive aggressively, they're like, oh, that's great. Oh, look at you. You think you're all skinny now. Do you get any of that?
Oh,
look at you. You think you've
changed. Oh God. I'm like, and then my compadre told me, well, you're going to be like that. What's his name that was with that movie with Brad Pitt?
Oh.
He lost a lot of weight too. Jonah Hill. Oh. So he's like, you're not going to be funny anymore because he became skinny and he's not funny anymore.
Isn't that something?
I'm like, oh, gee, thanks.
How interesting. But I bring it up because people will not be supported when they want to do something that is so outside of the normal from what everyone around you. And I talk about this a lot too. It's growth. Growth will inevitably mean you go against what your community of friends and family at the time might want you to be doing, because they want you to remain in what they think is good for you. You know, stay unhealthy because you're funnier that way.
You're funnier. Let's go eat. Let's go, you know,
but it's not good for them, because who are they going to go eat with now? Who's going to make them laugh? So now they don't like it. So they're like, oh, you're not going to be funny anymore. So they're going to try what they need to try to get you to stay that way for themselves, which we get caught in that. And we stay years in relationships like that, right? We stay years tolerating it because, well, it's my compadre, it's my friend, it's my bestie. Is it though? People grow, people change. And sometimes people will not grow with you, and that's okay. So again, I applaud you for being vulnerable, transparent, and coming on here and talking about this. I'm so proud of your journey, and I support you, whatever I can do to continue to.
You always have. With all my charities, with everything I ask you, you always come through. So thank you so much.
But even just personally,
always.
like if you need a cheerleader, accountability friend, you call me. You know I'm here for you. And
I'm part of Empower Hours, so of course.
Hey, come on. You sure are. And so how can people reach out to you if they have like questions about your journey?
Please give me a call, my cell phone.
Don't give your cell phone.
Okay. My email. Okay.
Do you have Instagram perhaps?
Instagram, yes.
Safety first.
Yes. I'm like, call my cell phone.
I know.
Liza.Cabrera, Cabrera.
Reach out to her, DM her. You see how open she is. She wants you to win. She wants what's best for you. All of us, when you create a community of health and wellness and accountability partners,
yes,
it makes it so much easier.
So much easier.
All right. Well,
and I'll walk them through every step of the way. Yes. It's not bad, you guys. Let's all be skinny.
Yay. And healthy.
Healthy, wealthy.
Yay. Healthy is wealth. Okay.
Yes.
My friend, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you for being you.
Absolutely.